Hi guys, it's Erin from Royal Blue here. Just a note before we start this next video, I am now using LibreOffice, so if things are a little bit different, that's why. Everything should, for the most part, just be the same. So today we are starting off where we left off in the last video. We've got 2 pages on our top pack done. We've got the D is for Dragon page and the D dot marker page. Now you can replicate these over and over again with different letters. If I was to, well, what I probably will end up doing is putting like F is for fire in there, and maybe putting a more girly dragon. I like to be a little bit versatile, so just some other packs you're going to have a lot, some you're going to have a little, but just I'm not going to do that right now because we're going to move on to other things that are more important. So today we're going to do a pre-writing page, and then I think we'll do a 9-piece puzzle. So the pre-writing page is pretty straightforward. You've got a line from one thing to another thing, and the idea is that they're going to trace it with a pencil, with their finger, with something to get that pre-writing motion in there. So there's different variations on it. Some people have slanted lines, some have curled lines. Just there's all kinds of things you can do. We're going to do a couple of different lines today. First, we need a new page. Just right-click and new page, and then we're going to go ahead and copy our border. And this is the first time we're going to add a header. So as I said in a previous video, I prefer the ITC Avant-Garde font. Today we're just going to go with normal Arial. We're going to write pre-writing page. And I like my headers to be about 24. And then just move it straight up in the middle, and you have your title page. The first thing I want to do is the lines. We're going to use this line tool down here, and I'm just going to draw a straight line from this side to the other side. To keep it absolutely straight, hold down the Shift key. And now I want it to be thicker, so we're going to use this up here. Instead of 0, 0, we're probably going to put it up to about 0.3. Since this is for toddlers, I like having it quite thick. Yeah, I think 0.3 works. And I don't want it to be black. I want them to be able to trace and see, so I'd like a light gray color. And I'm thinking I'm going to pick gray 3 here. I like that. And then to duplicate this, we're just going to copy it and paste. And then as you click on it and hold down the Shift key, and it'll go straight down. Sometimes. There we go, straight down, so it stays uniform. And I usually put about 4 of these on a page. There we go. Just to be easy, I'm just going to put one dragon on there, and we'll have him go to his cave. So we're going to take this dragon from Jimp and copy him over. To resize in LibreOffice, it's a little different than Jimp. You don't hold down the Shift button if you want him to stay, the ratio to stay correct. If you want to have him look funky, then you hold down the Shift key. So we're going to put him there. Again, I'm going to copy and paste him and hold down the Shift key so he goes straight down to keep this just nice and uniform. Now, if for some reason you forget to do that, and let's say you end up over here, you can just highlight all these guys. And then you're going to have this button right here, alignment button, and you can just click to have them all centered. Bam. Now I'm going to move them over a little so they cover the edge of that. All right, then we're going to put in the cave, or the dragon's den, I'm sorry. We'll just resize it and put it right over here. And again, copy and paste and hold down the Shift key just to get these all down here nice and uniform. Okay, so there's the basic straight line pre-writing page. Now we're going to tilt our lines. So I am just going to make a new page. To have a line just horizontal, we're just going to select the line tool and just put it as horizontal as you want. I usually don't do too much of an incline, just a little bit works. Again, we're going to go up to 30. 30. And gray 3. and you've got a tilted line, and as with the last one, you're just going to copy and paste and bring it down. I kind of just eyeball the difference. There's not a tool on LibreOffice to have it automatically put it at a certain space apart, so you just kind of have to do your best on that. And then the easiest way to get these images over, you can just copy and paste, and they'll be about the right. You can move them down, and we can get the caves in there. And move them up a little. That's our second pre-writing page. Now, if you want to do something really easy, just copy this over, make a new page. There we go. And we're going to highlight just the lines. You kind of have to guess, since these images are over on top of them, you have to guess exactly where they are. Well, you know, we might actually have to just delete images for now. Okay, so we are going to select these, right click, do flip horizontally, and now you have lines going the other way, which is another skill that pre-writers need. So now we're going to do a couple. Okay, so I've had to put it in full screen now so that I can show you exactly how to do the more fancy lines. So the first one we're going to do is the bent line. What you want to start off with is a straight line. Again, hold down the shift key. We're going to put it up to 0.3. And we're going to put it to gray 3. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a point. So that's down here in your menu, your bar at the bottom. It's going to say insert points. And you're going to put a point as close to the middle as you can guess. So then you can take this point and move it up. And you have a nice bend. You can move it down, however you want it to go. And then you can just, again, copy and paste this and have a whole row of these. Oops, not like that though. You got to undo your thing, select the arrow again. Well, you get the point. So next we're going to do the curved line. So we're going to start again with another straight line. And we're going to put it at 0.3 and gray. Now it's going to be the same thing as the bent line. We're just going to put a point right in the middle. But before we mess with it too much, we're going to select the point, just click on it, and these buttons should be highlighted. This one in the middle, smooth transition, is going to give you a nice curve. So just hold on to it and bring it up, and you've got a curve. You can make it as severe or minimum as you want it. Now these buttons these points are going to adjust how your curve looks. So you can do some pretty fun things with this. You can drag it out, you can make it smaller, make the curve wider, make the curve narrower, whatever you want to do. I think that looks nice. And I think even if you mess with these a little bit, you can bring your curve in. There's all kinds of options here to make your curve look exactly how you want it to look. And that's how you get the curved pieces. I think that's all the pre-writing pages we were going to make. The only other thing you might want to change, if you want to make them dotted, you can look at this with dotted lines. Up here where there's a straight line, just select one of these. I usually do the fine dotted. I don't see it now. Ultra dotted. There's all kinds of options. LibreOffice is saving for me. Fine dashed, and you can adjust the size to make it look how you want it. And you'll probably do that more for the preschool level than the tot level. The tot level, I think they need the solid line to follow, but that's just my opinion. So next we're going to go ahead and throw in a 9-piece puzzle. And I wanted to do this because it involves using tables, which can be complicated or easy, depending on what you're trying to do with it. So over here I have my police table. I'm sorry, my police 9-piece puzzle. which is going to come up here in a second. And I actually think this one's not using tables. I use just shapes for this. So there are two ways to do this. You can use shapes, but I find it easier now to use tables. So we're going to do insert table, and we want ours to be 3 by 3. And it's going to come out looking this funky table with the gradient. I don't know why they do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is resize it to about what size I want. Now I like my my squares to be, or my pieces to be squares. So I'm going to adjust this to the point where they're all about squares. It does look like if you hold down the shift key, it automatically goes to squares. And I would like this a little bit lower on page. So there we go. Next, I'm going to highlight the entire thing, and we're going to get rid of this gradient and add some borders on it. So we're going to go right click table. In LibreOffice, the first thing you have to do is get rid of the background. If I don't do that first, the borders get messed up, so I'm not sure why that is. So go to color, none. You will no longer have that gradient, and then go to borders. First thing you got to do is make it black because it has selected white borders, which don't do much on a white background. And I go up to about 1.25, something in that range. And then you want to decide whether you want all of your cubes to have borders or just some of them. So for this one, we want them all to have borders. We're going to do the second one here. No, sorry. No. Okay, here we go. The fourth one, set outer border and all inner lines. And when we get back, we have a nice table. Now we have to set up what we want our puzzle to look like. So of course we're going to get Fred in there because he's our main dragon. So we're going to copy Fred right from GIMP. And I'm just going to go ahead and resize him so he fits in the puzzle. Now the idea with these puzzles is you want to have something in every single frame. That way young kids can put it together easily. I think I'm going to have Fred in front of his cave, his den. We're going to copy the den over from GIMP and resize it, and it's going to go back here. Okay, so obviously we don't want the puzzle to look like this. These pieces both need to be behind the puzzle itself. So I'm going to do the dragon first. We're going to right click on it, go to arrange, and then send it back. And now he's going to have the lines in front of him. And I did him first because we're going to do the same with the den, and this way the den ends up behind the dragon. There we go. Now this is still kind of white, so if possible, I like to add some color in, and I know it takes a lot of ink, but it's worth it sometimes. So we're going to give them a nice green floor. It won't let me select it now. There we go. All right, so our floor is blue. We're going to go up here and change it to a green that looks kind of like grass. Ooh, I like this yellow green. That's pretty grassy. And then we're going to send that all the way to the back. Right click, arrange, send to back. And there's our grass. And then we'll give them a nice bright blue sky. Same thing, just select the rectangle. Get as close to these edges as you can. And I like to overlap the grass a little bit. That way there's no extra white space. And I actually kind of like this color for the blue, for the sky. So I might keep it. And again, geez. Right click, arrange, send to back. And there we go. We've got a 9-piece puzzle made with tables, with a dragon, his den, and the background. The only thing left on this page is we want to have the title. I'm going to go ahead and copy this title to keep them the same. And scroll down. And we're going to change this to read Dragon 9-piece puzzle. And that is how you use tables to make a 9-piece puzzle. So now we have the 2 pages from video 1, and you're going to have a bunch of pages from video 2 for pre-writing, and then the 9-piece puzzle. And in video 3, we will cover more topics. See you next time.